Only 5,120 pounds. This is the Winnebago 2201 MB. Couples camping, massive storage rear bathroom outside kitchen Murphy bed model with the industry's first 60 by 80 true queen easy lift flip it and forget it Murphy bed. One of the things that I like about a Winnebago Murphy bed is that it is purpose built to be traveling in the down position. So that means that all Winnebago Murphy beds are always accessible when the slide is closed. And that is not true of all Murphy beds in this business. Speaking of slide closed accessibility, at a glance, you look here, the table and the countertop, they come right next to each other, so you're obviously not squeezing through there. That being said, it's extremely not difficult to just either scoot around the U-dinette, or guys, you don't have to go down the road with the table in the up position. Now, you might notice how Winnebago includes that handy little nylon buckle strap for that exact purpose, so the table doesn't jostle in transit and bang into your cabinetry. But the fact is, it doesn't have to be right there going down the road. In fact, a really good place to travel with that thing, if you want greater travel accessibility, is you slide the table under the mattress and then use its own nylon buckle strap to keep the table in place when you're going down the road. From there, well, it's super easy to get back to all the kitchen cabinetry, the refrigerator, get back to that bathroom, all the big storage back there, and get to anything you need when you're just, jet setting down and need to make a quick travel stop, or if the RV's in storage. And here's what's cool about Murphy beds. The versatility, the flexibility. It's like having two campers in one, guys. Because if you don't care, you're like, I don't care. I don't want a Murphy bed. I don't even care to listen to Murphy bed things anymore. Great. Don't use it. Leave it exactly like it's shown. At worst, this becomes a 60 by 80 front queen bed. A residential sized queen bed. How cool is that? With these extra large windows on both sides with extra large side stands for like CPAP machines or anything like that. You've got power outlets on both sides of the bed. You've got just all kinds of good stuff. But if you're going to have company, if it's a rainy day, if you want that extra living space, you can, I guess, think of it as put the bed away and gain the living space of a super slide camper in an RV that does not have a super slide. So it's less weight, less length, and less cost. And I've yet to discover any client who is disappointed to find an RV that weighs less and costs less. So a few notes here before I get this in full-on camping mode. Again, this is the industry's first 60 by 80 true queen easy lift, what I call flip it and forget it bed. There are a pair of ridiculously powerful gas struts that they have clearly hidden. They have made sure that this thing is always aesthetically good looking. And that's the thing, a lot of Murphy beds, you see mechanical aspects of them. Winnebago's polish and refinement went into play here, and you don't see any of that. The only mechanical thing you really see is a safety locking mechanism. This Murphy bed locks in the down position so that if you sat on the headboard, you can't get lawn chaired and dumped up behind this bed where it could theoretically be very difficult to get out of and potentially hurt you. The reason I wanted to show you the bed in the transitional form is not just that lock, but up here. Above, or rather between the front storage area and, there's this pocket. And what I thought about that is when you flip that Murphy bed up, you could strap the pillows down, but if you're paranoid that they might wiggle out in transit, you could stuff them up inside of that little cubby hole, that pocket right there. Or frankly, you just have a neat little space there for bonus storage. And kind of like countertop space, kind of like lighter weight, kind of like less money. I've never found a customer who shies away from having extra storage space, And now that we're fully set up, I do want to take a quick second to point out that the RV we're looking at here in this video is one example of one Winnebago 2201 MB that we happen to have had here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This does not necessarily represent each and every single one of these that we have had, or ever will have here at Haylett RV. So, things like the fabric decors. This is actually not the normal fabric decor that we bring in here at Haylett RV. This is called granite, or graphite rather. Normally we like to bring in pearl, which has, I don't know, I'm not even gonna, guys are bad with colors. To me there's 12 different shades of red, but I just call them red, I'm one of those people. The fact is, if you like everything you see in this except the pillows or something like that, chances are we have or we'll be getting a different, like the exterior skin color. There's different exterior skin colors. We've definitely found platinum to be the most highly demanded, however. So a few things here. The front sofa, you might have noticed when I zoomed in on it when it was in the flat down position, you do not lift the sofa to get through that underbelly storage. It is completely segmented and separated from one another, which not all Murphy beds are. A lot of people like the separation and the extra. It took extra material there in an area that most people aren't looking at. A thing that I like about this one too is the fact that you actually have really good door side window coverage between the kitchen breeze window, the full true window in the entry door, which does have its own privacy shade, by the way, as well as the maximum sized, oversized window overlooking the door side next to either the bed or sofa, so you can always see what's going on in there. Now, the other side of the bed has a matching window, and you might notice that little privacy curtain right there. If you do decide to fold down that full, like 7 foot long by, I don't know, roughly 44-inch wide U-dinette, if you have a guest or something like that here, that is an adult-sized guest sleeping space that is good for more than just grandkids. So you can, it's a couples camper, but with good guest capacity. And that curtain right there, that will act as your privacy area if that's a concern of yours. Some people care, some people don't. Now, an optional piece of equipment you'll typically find on the Winnebagos at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan is the larger 15,000 BTU air unit. We almost always apply that to every single camper that we get from Winnebago, even the tiny little 17-foot ones. We also like to put their weather package on, which I'll take some time to explain outside, because there's some misinformation on that, and I want to clear that up. Now, notice, even when that bed is down, if you're sitting on the sofa, people can come and go, and there's plenty of room here. You can make a Murphy bed model shorter by making it so that the bed has to be in the up position in transit. That was not Winnebago's concern. They wanted to have the most functional, most versatile Murphy bed system. Now take a look at these air vents. The air vents in all these can close and turn, and that is something that not all air vents in all RVs can do. I have noticed it is something that brands who tend to spend a little bit more money on the product tend to do little detail things like that. Now, the fascia around the slide, it's all hardwood fascia. You can do what I call the wedding ring test. You can tap all over this thing. Your slide fascia is all hardwood. Our cabinet doors are all hardwood framed. All of our cabinetry is pocket screwed. This is first class and built to last. And that's also one of the reasons why Winnebago has spent extra money removing all carpet from the slide out. One of the most common questions I get nowadays with if an RV has a slide is, why is there carpet in the slide out? Because it's the worst place for carpet. The answer, guys, is because it's less expensive. It's less expensive to build an RV with carpet. It takes significantly more labor time to do it like this. It's harder to do it like this. So there, right there, is a huge indicator that you're looking at a higher echelon product. Things like the fact that you have this sealed edge tabletop and countertops in the bathroom, the dining area, everything, all the way around here. Again, more indicators of a higher echelon product. The TV can pivot out to face the U-dinette, so you're not, doing a neck crank. But that's what's neat about this Murphy bed model. We're in the daytime camp position right now. If you were sitting on the Murphy bed sofa, the Murphy sofa, I guess we'll call it, you would be looking at exactly what I'm looking at here. You have a direct facing entertainment center only about 6 feet away. So hopefully you don't need the binoculars to take a look at it. And right above that is our Bluetooth DVD player, but most campers have something similar, so I'm not going to belabor that point too much. What I do want to do is take a minute to open up and zero in on the kitchen, however. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, all the cabinetry is pocket screwed. This is designed to last longer. And it's the little detail things I look at, like the little radius work, how everything is nice and clean, how there's no like sharp edges, there's no like rough cuts that you see. There's a lot of polish and refinement that goes into these. You know, even inside the cabinets, you don't see where like they just routed something out and it looks rough and edgy, you know? Now, look at the detail work here. Not just a stovetop backsplash, but a side splash as well. That is something that people have been doing their little camping hacks to come up with for years. And finally, a manufacturer's doing something about it. You know why? Because it probably costs like 15 cents extra, or however much, a couple bucks. I don't care. The fact is, again, this is less of a price-sensitive product, and this is more of a premium material and feature type product. Inside of that, sealed edge countertop here, you can see how you've got the stainless steel sink with the single cover and then the roll-away drying rack. And then we've got a recessed flush mount stove to help maximize our countertop prep space. Now, these Peninsula countertops, they give you a lot of extra storage, but you got to have a door to get to them. Thankfully, again, Winnebago doesn't cut the corner. Now, you can see how you've got a power outlet right there. You'll find another power outlet and USB plugs on the bottom side of that upper cabinet. I often forget to actually kneel down and look at that. Being a tall guy, it's an out of sight, out of mind thing, but there you go. I actually took the time and remembered to point them out. We've got all plywood drawers with those nice extension glides. And notice, too, that it's not just they're not three-sided plywood boxed, they're four-sided plywood boxed. Even the front side here, where the hardwood drawer fascia hooks up, has the a backer to it. Also, doors on the end of the dinette to make getting to the storage simple and easy. You do have actually a decent amount of storage above and below, mostly below, but a tiny pocket above the TV area as well. Maybe like a good DVD area. One more thing here in the kitchen, we'll jump in the bathroom. And that is the good space for a wastebasket right here in the kitchen area. That way you don't have to constantly have like cheap Walmart and Target bags like tied to your cabinet doors. I'm going on a limb here, but I'm willing to bet you didn't just spend Winnebago money to have a Walmart bag dangling from your cabinetry to act as a garbage bag. Now, another Winnebago thing, they fully frame out all their doors. This isn't trim, this is actual framework so that that door always stays square and true. Back here you can see you're greeted with an extra large, very nice radius shower. So bigger fellas like me with the long arms, when I go to soap up my hair, my long elbows are pointing out everywhere. I've got plenty of room to do that. An extra large countertop in here. Let me actually walk inside here. Extra large countertop with plenty of counter space on both sides of that stainless sink makes, plenty of room to like set down toothbrushes or blow dryers, and you notice that GFI protected outlet right below the countertop line. You also have your overhead vanity light switch right down there, which is really handy, guys, if you do have, say, like a little kid or a grandkid on the U-dinette and they need to get up to use the potty at night. They can operate the light switch themselves and go back to bed on their own without needing to necessarily disturb you. And it's not that that's a small sink. That is a true two-hand adult-sized sink. It's just a really big countertop. Now, we do have a porcelain foot flush stool back here, but this Winnebago has what I call, oh my God, bathroom storage. And the reason I say that is because when I walk a customer in here and they look at this, they always go, oh my God. They say it every time. It's like I could set my watch by it. And what I love is the detail work here. So they didn't just make it an open cavity. They gave you shelf space here for things like towels and toiletries. It's got a recessed, you could almost say, trunk-like area at the bottom where you could put more big loose totes and stuff so they won't fall out of the cabinets. Then we have another full hanging closet right here. So not only do you have the shelves and the closets on both sides of the master bed, you also have a huge additional storage capacity back here in the bathroom. So this is truly a little camper that gives you big storage, big flexibility, big living space, just in a shorter, lighter length. And it's funny, the little things that catch your eye, and it's not that it's brand new, they've been doing this for a little while, but that decal at the bottom of the nose cap below the Winnebago logo, when these Minis first started having nose caps, they were just stark white, as opposed to the Mini Plus, which has a partial black paint in the central section. And it just helps sets the tone. It's that little thing that the eyeball needed. Now you might notice the larger propane tanks up front. That is an optional piece of equipment. This standard does have 20-pound propane tanks. Other things that we've done to this I've probably talked about earlier, but while we're talking about options and upgrades, you can outfit these with a larger 15,000 BTU air, which, short of something miraculously getting wacky, that's how we bring them in every time here at Halo RV, as well as their weather package, which is a radiant foil blanket starting at the nose cap, wrapping all the way across the roof and down the rear wall, then a layer of double-sided thermal foil through the belly. Now, naturally, then the question becomes, well, does that make this 4 seasons? Winnebago doesn't actually cold chamber and test their campers, so I will not make a promise that they haven't. I know plenty of dealers do, but I won't. What it will do, however, is if you are camping in a place that has screaming hot sunshine, or if you're going to get a quick cold snap and the weather's going to come back, it will do wonders toward, evening out the heating and cooling here. Now, another thing you don't really see on Winnebago towable RVs is the fact that they ride on a different chassis from most things. Like if I look over here, you see traditional LCI I-beam chassis. And they're great. There's nothing wrong with any of that. The idea behind this, though, is that it is not a less expensive chassis. It is more expensive, but it is lighter and it is stronger. It is from a company called Norco. It's a Z-frame made with high-strength, low-alloy steel. Now, this does have an enclosed heated belly, which will help with that seasonality. I left the opposite side baggage door open, but you might notice how it was staying up all by itself. This does have those handy slam latches and magnet catches, and that extra wide cargo compartment that we'll get to look at later is the perfect place to put a portable solar panel if you are in fact looking for, a little bit of off-grid use or some battery tending. Now, as we walk down the side here, I want to take a special point to really talk about Winnebago's fiberglass. You see that mirror-like reflectivity on it. They are using, hands down, the highest grade fiberglass in the towable RV market, and maybe there is a manufacturer using it. I'm not aware of anyone, though. The fiberglass Winnebago uses is literally 4 times thick than conventional Phylon. It's literally as thick as a sheet of Luan. It's expensive. It's heavy. It is also heavy duty, has an amazing, amazing look to it, superior UV reflectivity. And guys, you can work on it. What I mean by that, let's say you're at a campsite that has a low-hanging tree branch and a unexpected tree branch rakes the side of your trailer and scratches it. You could buff that out of this and never know it was there. Conventional Phylon does not always give you that opportunity. Notice the intelligent design here with the centralized hookups, everything in one place, whether it's separate cable and satellite hookups, your auto ignition fast recharge water heater, hot and cold outside shower, as well as the black tank flush and everything, all right there. All your hookups in one handy spot. Now, these are prepped and ready for a backup or in-motion observation camera. We offer those things right off the shelf here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. We're actually going to climb up that rear roof ladder to get to the roof at the end of the video here. You notice how the spare tire has a little slip cover on it? I hope, like cough medicine, you guys have that and never need to use it. That would make everybody very happy if you had a spare tire that went to waste. Wouldn't that be a good thing? One of the things that has also helped propel this floor plane to popularity, despite its relatively young age in the Winnebago lineup, in point of technicality, is the maximum length power awning that also covers the outside kitchen. That is a very commonly sought after feature that a full-size outside kitchen rarely offers. A lot of times an RV manufacturer, I do feel wisely, will budget a full-size outside kitchen's taller overhead door as sort of an extension of overhead covering. Low-profile outside kitchens rarely get the extra treatment of, having a full covering back here, but Winnebago has seen to that. You see how the outside kitchen telescopes out for easy access. You got that, stainless little grill system there, or stovetop as it were. You've also got a little quick-release sort of faucet or hose. Like sometimes you'll see this used as an outside shower. That is a very versatile fixture. It's not much to look at. Yeah, the thing here is this is more of a function over fashion item in that regard. There's a lot of flash and sizzle on this RV, from that fiberglass skin to everything else we've already seen. This is very much a sink as a functional thing, and they gave it maximum functionality because you can swap that little bendy, I call scorpion tail faucet out for something like a blue coil hose or anything of that nature, so that if you want to swap, do some campsite cleanups, you can. And of course, we got the roughly 2 cubic foot outside fridge here that I love to call Dad's medicine cabinet. We've got our good-looking aluminum radial wheels here with the galvanized steel wheel wells to give you the extra protection from flying debris. You can put a TV on the outside of this. There are outside TV hookups right here, and it even says, hey, there's something inside the wall right here. If you want to, screw a mount onto, you can. I have yet to talk to a single person who is comfortable drilling through that extra fancy pants fiberglass on a Winnebago. In fact, I wouldn't either. I don't think I would do it myself. You've got the nicer aluminum plank steps here. They're sturdier, stronger, and they don't get slippery when your feet get wet with rubber-soled shoes, which is nice. Entry door is anti-slam. We already saw how there's a full window inside, and you've also got that extra large handle there. And of course, we've got a full-length LED light below that awning, just above the outside speakers there. Now, this is one of the things they've done really well, and I've probably talked about it a few times in this video, but I kind of record things in segments, and sometimes they're out of order, so who knows. But the fact is, the way that Winnebago has done this, a lot of times when you get a Murphy bed camper from some manufacturers, you will lose outside storage. And in a case of a Winnebago, you're actually gaining cubic foot of outside storage, and I believe that you're gaining more functional space. It's not as tall as some non-Murphy bed pass-throughs, but it is much, much wider, and you tend to stack cargo side by side, not top to bottom. And maybe in the distance you see that red switch over there. It does have an easy reach battery disconnect, which is a nicer feature. It's not hard, it's not expensive to add to any RV, but the fact is you don't have to add it to this Winnebago, so that when you're not using the RV, things like your water heater, your refrigerator panel, your stereo, they don't turn off. They go into standby, so they won't be trickle drawing off the battery. It's just that way when you go to use your Winnebago, you go to flip the power tongue jack on, you know it's going to work instead of be dead, and then you don't have to hand crank the stupid thing. Now, other than the fact that this roof is fully walkable, there's not a whole lot else to really show up here beyond, well, there's also the fact that Winnebago is just exceptionally heavy-handed with all of their roof sealants. But you've got, we often refer to our Winnebagos as an all-aluminum skeleton. It, in point of technicality, actually does have stamped steel, galvanized steel roof trusses, although it is very common for an RV to have an all-aluminum structure with galvanized steel roof trusses and be referred to as an all-aluminum structure. Passport, Winnebago, multiple brands do it. Our safety quality checker, Jody, inside appears to be rolling up the awning right now. It's not possessed or anything. The good news, you get to see how fast this moves. And that's the thing that you rarely get to see, and I don't always, with one hand on the camera, get the chance to show you. Winnebago uses higher grade components, higher grade motors in the awning, in the tongue jack. They move faster, they last longer, they're stronger. This is designed to be what I call retirement grade. If you're trying to find the last camper you ever want to buy, having it say Winnebago on the front is definitely a good start. But there are more than one brand that fits that description, and maybe you don't need something built quite to that caliber. Maybe you're like, something a little more casual might work. That's why we carry all these things here at Haylett RV, guys. And giving you the information to help you make those decisions, even standing on a semi-frozen RV roof that's a little bit slippery and making potentially unwise decisions like that, up here in the freezing cold during polar vortex temperatures, well, that's our level of dedication here at Haylett RV. So if this is the kind of people you want working for you guys, give us a ring. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.